Across the Atlantic, it'll be Carlos Alcaraz against Jannik Sinner in Sunday's Wimbledon men's final. Sinner knocked off Novak Djokovic in straight sets to reach his first final of the All-England club, while Alcaraz needed 4 sets to get past Taylor Fritz this morning. It sets up a rematch of their French Open final just over a month ago, in which Alcaraz won in 5.5-hour marathon in thrilling comeback fashion. Let's bring in Brad Gilbert, who's been with us throughout the way here from the All-England Club, getting us here some updates. So a fun day of semifinal matches here. Let's first start with Sinner and Djokovic. Brad, how did that all play out in terms of what you were able to see on the court today?
Well, if you remember the last match, Joker on match point took a really hard fall. And so you were kind of wondering how he would be. And I watched him in the warm-up today, and he definitely had a light shoot around. But you could tell from the first point, his body was compromised. And Sinner took full advantage. And it looked like the first 2 sets, it was tough to watch at some point. You just knew that, like, God, hopefully that, Joker's got something left. He took an injury timeout to start the third, and then actually got out to a 3-0 lead, but still just looked depleted. And Sinner was just running downhill the whole match. Djokovic is still playing great tennis, but in all 3 of the slams this year that Novak has lost in the semis, Father Time has kind of gotten the better of him at the end of the tournament, where, his body is a little bit compromised, and he knows to win it, he's got to beat Sinner and Alcaraz. Just a massive ask at this moment.
Yeah, he just reached, his 63rd Grand Slam semifinal. And then, to your point, once he gets to this portion of the tournament, he ends up with a draw that faces one of the 2 of Sinner and Alcaraz. Is this what we're kind of to expect from Djokovic moving forward here, Brad?
I think he said in his press conference afterwards, I'm still playing great, I'm getting the semis, but when I face these guys, I feel the tank is half empty. And to beat these 2 guys right now, the tank has got to be on overfull. And then to beat them back-to-back, is nothing short of impossible. One of them now will win, obviously, Sunday. It'll be the 7th consecutive slam these 2 guys have won. So after the big three's dominance for like 17, 18 years, these 2 have just taken the mantle and massively run with it.
All right, what stood out to you about the Spaniard today against our American Taylor Fritz? Talking about, of course, Carlos Alcaraz.
This was a heck of a match. Alcaraz got a break in the first game of the match, and you were thinking at 2-0, maybe this is going to be a runaway train. Both times they had played, he'd beaten him easy. Taylor steadied himself, lost the first set, 6-4, but then, took care of his serve and got a late break in the second set. And all of a sudden, it was 1 set all. And you're thinking, uh-oh, maybe this thing is, maybe going to be, a different outcome than we expect. And then late in the third, Alcaraz raised his level to get up 2 sets to 1. And then that 4th set was a battle. And I'll give you that 4-set breaker, Alcaraz jumps out to a 4-1 lead. Sinner, then Fritz rolls off 5 points in a row to take a 6-4 lead, like wrestling, a quick takedown. But then it was a reversal and a pin. Those last 4 points for Alcaraz to win it 8-6 in the 4-set breaker was a heck of a match. Fritz played really good. I have never seen him hit his second serve as bold as he did. He was right there, just couldn't squeeze out 2 set points he had. Otherwise, who knows what happens in that 5th set.
We always talk about the challengers to the top 2 guys. Where does Fritzy rank among the American contenders for you, Brad?
Right now, him and Ben Shelton are clearly the 2 best Americans. Fritz is the more consistent of the 2. I would say Shelton is the more dangerous. He's got more upside, but he's not as consistent. But right now, these 2 guys, Sinner and Alcaraz, are asking a massive question. No one has ever beaten both of them in a slam before. And it's going to be 7 consecutive slams they're going to win. If I tell you the next 10 slams, that's 2.5 years, what's the over-under on them winning? Maybe it's another 8 or 9. These 2 guys have literally taken the mantle. They've run with it, and they're 23 and 22 and only getting better. So they're saying to the other guys, if you're going to hang with us, you got to get better or you're going to get left behind.
That's scary for the rest of the field, by the way. So as we move forward to the final, given what we saw on clay out in the French Open here, how does it all play out in your eyes, Brad?
Well, Tommy, this is pretty amazing. This is only the first time since 2006, 7, and 8 when Federer and Rafa played the French and Wimbledon final. And that's the only time in the Open era that's happened. So we're getting this rematch from the French to Wimbledon, and the last time before that was 1952. Last time somebody lost the French final in 5 sets and came back and won the Wimbledon final was John McEnroe in '84. It's going to be 90 degrees on Sunday, so it's going to be warm, a little higher bouncing. And I really think that Sinner, beyond house money, you know, he was down 2 sets against Dimitrov. He was dead and buried that day with the bad fall. And you know what? At the end of a football game, when you give Mahomes or Tom Brady an extra possession, bad things happen. I feel like that's exactly what's happened in this tournament. Sinner's got an extra possession, and he's got house money. I like his chances on Sunday. I think he's going to put, you know, what that massive disappointment behind him in the French. I think he's going to win on Sunday. I think he's going to win in 4 tight sets. And, you know, obviously, I hope we have a great match like Paris, but I think Sinner's going to win, even though he's lost 5 straight head-to-head matches now to Alcaraz.
It was interesting, to your point, he was not playing that well against Grigor Dimitrov, but the retirement allowed him to gather a little bit of time, and then he's been able to obviously flip that and play some good tennis en route to the final. That'll be on Sunday. As for the day before, the women will take center stage in the ladies singles final. It'll be Amanda Anisimova and Iga Swiatek. Brad, who's the winner in your eyes?
Well, what a great story for Amanda Anisimova. Last year, she lost in the qualies. And in 2023, she took 8 months off for a mental health break. To come back the way she did from 400 in the rankings, what a great match she had against Sabalenka. She's totally power player. That's the kind of player that can give Swiatek trouble. But this is the best run she's ever had at Wimbledon. Swiatek, she dismantled Bencic in the last match. I think the warmer conditions and the higher bounce have helped Swiatek. I mean, I think that for Anisimova to have a shot, she has to play big and take the racket out of Iga's hand. But I think the movement will be a factor. I think she'll be able to extend the points. I'm rooting for Amanda, but I got a feeling Iga Swiatek is going to be holding the Venus Rosewater Trophy on Saturday. I think she wins in 2 tight sets. Okay,
there it is. That is the lowdown for this weekend's finals with Brad Gilbert. Brad, certainly appreciate it. Hey, stay cool out there, my friend. Here it is. Just a reminder, 11 a.m. Eastern for both of the finals on the ladies and the men's side. And for Sinner and Alcaraz, of course, a rematch from Roland Garros at the All England Club this time around.